Future Joe jumping in real quick. Just want to quickly preempt the video, letting you guys know that there's going to be some pictures at the end of it with some of the build process. So if you want to check them out, take a look. It's my cap as well as parts of my nephew's. Thanks. Hello everyone. I want to go over my custom made wall arcade cabinet that I put together. This is a 27-inch monitor, and it is running off of a Optiplex 5060 with an i7 8700. So I can crack this open real quick with one hand. i7 8700 and a single slot Radeon 550. Now as you can see, the case is gone. I cut it off completely, but left the bottom plate so that it can mount to the floor of the cap securely. Has a ton of USBs going to it for the Brooks Pi fighting boards, the mouse. I also have two USBs going in there for one of them has a permanent little dongle for the keyboard, and the other one's open in case I want to put a controller, which I probably will never use, but it's there. It's not the cleanest thing in the world, but I did have to put a lot of buttons in here. I've got six buttons per side, plus the two player 1, player 2 hotkey, and then down here I have the single coin and the launch ball for the pinball. Each side has a flipper button with the American style HAP buttons, and they're set up to mimic a couple of the buttons here on player 1. So being that it's an Optiplex, Dell has a habit of putting very proprietary connectors and switches and things on there, and this thing has a power switch external up here that I kind of piggybacked into the original one. So when you push that, turns everything on. It'll start up in a few seconds here. It boots headless, so it doesn't have any keyboard missing errors or any type of other little weird issues. It just boots right into Batocera 38, I believe I have it on. And the reason I'm using an older style, hold on, it's gonna have its little, as you can maybe hear, the LEDs just turned on the bottom, as did the upper intake and exhaust fans. I'm gonna get here the copyright, so it's an intro video that I made with just some of the games that I have on there. The way it's set up, it's got a surge protector back inside there, a whole bunch of smart plugs, and I don't know if you guys could have heard it, but when the PC starts generating any power, any voltage I should say, the LEDs in the bottom kick on by themselves, and then the upper intake and exhaust fans kick on. The Batocera, let me see what version I'm on here. I'm on 41. Okay, so it has music on there that my family all likes. I got some Taylor Swift on there, oldies from not oldies, but old school stuff from the 80s and 90s. More period correct stuff, but whatever my family liked. So turn it down so I don't get hit with the copyright thing. The way it's set up, it has the trackball, cheap Amazon special. It required an active PS2 to USB adapter to get to work, and it only worked on Batocera 41 and lower, so that's why I'm on 41 and not 43, which I think is the newest one. I've got Sanwa joysticks, as I mentioned earlier, Brooks fighting Pi Zero boards per player. I think they're pronounced Kanba. They're mirror blue LED buttons. I like the way they look, so I like them like that. Chrome ball tops. I made the little labels for the player 1, player 2 hotkey, coin, and ball launch and all that on my Cricut. And it has a 27-inch monitor. It runs everything really well. This is a straight up arcade only build, so there's no need for a controller. There's no Super Mario games, none of that stuff at all. It's all playable with the joysticks and the buttons, and that's it, and the flippers on the sides. Let me show you some of the games I got here. So I'm gonna put this here so we can take a better look at it here. Okay, so there's favorites, of course. The spinner games work with the trackball as well. The trackball, this one works really well. So the way it's set up, once it boots in, your fire buttons are going to be on player 1 only, and then of course your movement with the trackball. So you put in your coin, press start, and then it works great. And then exit out, hotkey in player 1. The main games it has, it does take a little bit longer to exit out for some reason. Again, like I said, there's 80s and 90s music on here. So I have that, the main category, and then pinball. The pinball works really well. I've got, it was 86 boards on here. So we'll try GoldenEye, James Bond here. So once you select it, takes a little while to go into the boot up. You'll see that the table comes up. Takes a little bit sometimes on some of them. Okay. So the table's live, and once it finishes its little boot up here, then you can go and put your coins in. Let me turn the volume up a little bit. Can you hear it?
Hello, James.
And then you push start, player 1, and the ball pops in. Here you can hold it, and then
There, shoot the flashing ramp.
anyways, exit out like every other game. Works very well. There's a lot of boards on here, a lot of fun boards. Indiana Jones, Iron Man, Jurassic Park, Star Wars, NBA, NASCAR, there's tons of them. And then down here, Thomas Wave, Dreamcast, all straight up arcade games. There's no, like I said, no controller based games. They can all be played with the joysticks and the buttons.
Welcome back to the stage of history.
And they're already all set up. The Dreamcast works really well with this controller setup. We'll go to full arcade. We'll go to favorites. Favorites for all the good stuff. So look at the classic 1944. There's Aliens, Ghouls and Ghosts, Galaga, Mario Brothers, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on Dreamcast, Metal Slug. NFL Blitz works extremely well here, which is a harder game to run. It's on MAME. That's why I have my little NFL Blitz logo here that we printed here on the bamboo with the AMS. This is a little surround that I designed in Fusion 360 for a little cheap Amazon amplifier. It has treble, bass, and full volume control. And and it gets really, really loud if you want it to. 3-inch speakers with the grills, also from Amazon. The thing itself is made out of 1/2-inch MDF. I chose to use that instead of 3/4 just for the weight savings. And of course, since there's no T-track available for 1/2-inch, I just use automotive trim with the 3M backing tape, and I did heat it for the bends, and I also use a little bit of super glue to help it stick a little bit more securely, because I know 3M doesn't stick very, very well to wood, so the glue kind of helped it stick in these little corners. Came out really nice. It's, you know, red. The control panel has, whoa, sorry. So control panel has got carbon fiber vinyl. The side's kind of hard to see, but carbon fiber vinyl up here as well. It is mounted to the wall with a French cleat system, so I can pick it up. It's not that heavy. Pick it up, take it right off, and I can transport it if I wanted to. We've spent hours playing this thing. It's awesome. 2 players. 2 players fit comfortably here, off to the side, each one of us. It works really well. This game's hard to run on most old computers, but this CPU and GPU work really well. One of my favorite games growing up, so I played this one a lot. Back when the Cowboys were really good.
They're going for 2.
Oh my God. Anyways, sorry I got lost on that one. One of my favorite games growing up. Being that it's a MAME game, it does take a little longer to get out. But you know, we got the classics on here, all the good stuff. I don't have thousands and thousands of games. I think total I have is about 600 and some, which sounds like a lot, but the majority of that is in the arcade category. So these classic games I grew up playing in arcades all the time, so it's cool that I can play them here in my house with my kids. And these are the arcade originals. I have the scan lines working, so it gives it that old school look. That way it doesn't look too cheesy on a newer modern TV. So we have, this one here. I've got you got your Ninja Turtles. Very easy to get in and out of the games. Just a quick hotkey in player 1. I made it very simple where we don't have our own individual coin buttons. It's just one for all players. Most of the games are set up only for 2 instead of having the 4 turtles like on here. You'll have 1 and 2. That way you can choose any of the turtles you want. I have a 4-player game. If you had the 4-player one, you'd be locked into 1 or 2 players, and that's it. But this one you can choose whichever player you want. Of course, it is only 2, so you can't get your 4-player stuff going on, but these are all the classics, man. These are the fun games you want to play. All the way to your Samurai Showdown from FB Neo. We got Pac-Man. I think it's Pac-Man. It's just any Mortal Kombat. Even the old stuff, Frogger, Galaga, all the classic stuff on there. Spinner games again. These work really well. The Thomas. I only have 6 games from here, but we'll go with Dolphin Blue. Kind of an underrated game. This one's kind of a Metal Slug clone, but doesn't get as much attention as Metal Slug does. Most of them have their bezels built in. Weird game with the dolphin thing, but it plays like Metal Slug is awesome. So again, works perfectly fine with all this setup. Some Taylor Swift. This one of the spinner games, Blastoise. See, this one it's meant to be with a little spinner knob. I could put one on here. I have space for it, but I like the way it looks with just the trackball in the middle and then 6 and 6 buttons. Let's go with a beginner course because I'm not very good at this game. It's pretty neat though. I mean, like I said, it's meant to be with a spinner, but trackball works just fine. So like I said, it gets nice and loud. The cool thing is with this audio system, it's a cheap little Amazon thing, but it's Bluetooth, so you can put your phone on there and have music if you don't want to listen to the games. But they sound great. I mean, I have little cups in the back of these speakers, so the little bass that they have, it sounds really good.
I heard you call
So it gets loud.
on the megaphone. You leave me all alone. As legend has it, you are quite the pyro. You light the match to
But as mentioned, it didn't cost me a whole lot to make. It's just a lot of it was a 4x8 sheet of MDF at Home Depot, and I think you can make actually two cabinets. I've made 2, one for myself, one for my nephew, and lives in Houston. And half-inch MDF. I got a 27-inch monitor off of OfferUp for like $30. And the more expensive thing was were the Brooks boards. I started off with those cheaper $20 packs of arcades with the buttons, but they didn't work very well. And these have much better sensitivity than the other ones did. And the Brooks board, they hook up like Xbox controllers, so it works with everything. That's why it was just like plug and play with Dreamcast and everything. But like I said, these games very old, but some of the best games ever, man. They were so fun to play in the arcades. And then I said just a little bit of customization with some music on there. I did my little intro video. That's a really clean theme that I have going on there. Total games on here, 763. So like I said, not tens and thousands. I don't need every single game made, but just as long as I have the ones that I've always played when I was younger, I'm happy. You know, I don't need all the games in the world. Even on my gaming PC, I don't have 1,000 arcade games and all Super Nintendo. None of that stuff. Just what I actually liked to play when I was younger, and I can share it with my family. My niece and my nephew come over here to play quite often, and They come up here and play in my son's room where this is located. And we have a blast on it. So any questions or anything, leave it in the comments. But as I mentioned, it's just a Optiplex. You can find a cheap office PC and kind of butcher it like I did. As long as it has maybe like an i7 8700, you can get away with an i5 4690. As long as you have that little small single slot card GPU, that'll help you out. As long as you can get the NFL Blitz working or Killer Instinct, everything else will work just fine. You can run some smaller PC games on here. You can run all that stuff, and if you want to put a controller in there, I just wanted a pure arcade experience. No external controllers, just work on it like that. Come in, turn it on with that button, and you're good to go. So when you shut it down, shuts off right away. Everything turns off except these take about maybe 5 minutes to turn off after the voltage. And then you want to play again, you just come in here and push that button again. Kicks it back on. Very self-contained. Boots up quick. So again, Battlestar 41. Should play one of the splash videos. The one was already there. Yeah, I mean, these things you can make them on Clipchamp with different video game clips. Your basic stuff. I just made basic intros and outros of these things of games that I have running on here. And then with the little logo that I do kind of for my own personal game systems here I have at the house. That game I love to play, that tennis, even though I don't like tennis, but the video game tennis, it's awesome. But like I said, it's a real quick thing you can put together in a weekend. Very simple to make with a circular saw, a jigsaw, a little bit of sealer paint, a little bit of old office equipment and a cheap monitor. You can make it small if you want, but I wanted 27 to cover the entire length of it. Some people use a 24, but you have to make like a side little wall, like a border for it. And I wanted the screen to be complete. It's not that big, it's only the length. It's about maybe 20, I think it was 26 inches or 25 inches across. Just enough for 2 players to stand here comfortably. And so this thing works great. Very sensitive, even though it's a cheap Amazon one. If it ever craps out, I may get one of those better, fancy LED ones, but right now it's working fine, so I don't see any reason to get rid of it. These buttons were just cheap LED buttons from Amazon. I have like 7 of them, and that's why I just use 2, but I still have a whole bunch in the garage. That's it. Everything else is pretty basic. Got some little USB fans. This one works as the intake. And the exhaust keeps it decently cool. And that's about it. So like I said, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. And shut down. And thanks for watching.